What's going on YouTube? My name is Justin. I represent Maryland's #1 RV dealership, Beckley's RVs. And today we're standing inside of a 2021 Imagine 23BHE. We're going to show you some quick highlights on the interior first. Then once we're done, we're going to go to the outside and show you a couple of those exterior features. So this particular floor plan has one small slide out on it. But the first thing we're going to start with are these large bunk beds that are over here. So these are some double over double size bunk beds. They're about 76 inches in overall length. So if you're a little over 6 feet, you should be able to comfortably sleep inside of these. They also provide you a little bit of storage up underneath of that bottom bunk bed as well. Now to transition over what I was talking about on that slide, this entire area right here is currently slid out now. Over here, they give you a good sized pantry. You've got an 8 cubic foot refrigerator in here. They also give you a 3-burner cooktop with an oven down below. They just have a standard high point, style microwave. It's not a convection microwave. And then back behind here, something I love with these trailers is the fact that they provide you the blackout MCD roller shades. So they just aesthetically look a little better, but also too, they really help out with a lot of the light outside. They also give you a kind of farm style sink. The faucet that's up front here, this thing has two different options to it. So you could either have like a one solid spray, or you could do like the big sprayer, if you will. And then down below, they also give you a good bit of storage there. And then lastly, they have a countertop extension that just lifts right up there. So really a kind of a great space to be able to cook, be able to really put away all your stuff. This thing has a lot of storage for such a small size travel trailer. All right, so this has just one small seating arrangement inside, and that's gonna be the dinette that sits here. So I'm not a very large guy, but I just wanna slide in here and show you, what this kind of looks like. I think it would be very difficult to be able to fit 4 people sitting here, unless you had like 4 small kids maybe, or small adults. But otherwise, it's very comfortable just for one person to be able to sit behind this. The cool thing too is the fact that this actually converts down into a full-size bed. So I'll show you what that looks like here now. You just have to ensure that you lift up these 2 bottom cushions first. And what I love about this dinette is the fact that it's a telescoping table, meaning there's no poles or anything to have to mess with. Instead, you just simply pull these 2 handles that are down below here, and then you have to push down over top. So then from that point, you just close these latches right back off, and then we just take the cushions down, set the cushions right here in the middle. And then that makes into a decent sized bed. So now that we got the bed folded down, I'm gonna go ahead and climb up on it. That way you can see how comfortably I can fit. So I'm about 5'9" in height without shoes on. So just lay down here. So you can see my feet pretty much touch, my head touches both ends too, but I think I could easily sleep on this, no problem. One thing else too I forgot to mention, and that's something that's so important with this floor plan too, is the fact that the dinette here is on your awning side, and you've got a really large window, that also gives you the ability to look out on your campsite. So many times like they take this table and they'll transition the table over here where that slide out is. And a lot of times, like if you're sitting down and you've got a window that's over there instead and your table's over there, you're gonna have that blind probably pulled down because your neighbor's campsite is like right next door, versus with this, you can actually be a part of your campsite and be able to enjoy that in the mornings or whenever it is that you may be hanging out around this dinette. So before we get up here into the master bedroom, I just want to point out you have a little TV that sits here. That does sit on a swivel bracket, so if you're sitting at the table or even the kids are maybe laying up top in the bunk beds, you can swivel this out and make it a little bit more comfortable to be able to watch. The other thing is right over here, this is going to be just a little bit of extra storage, so whether it was some necessities that you need for going camping, or maybe you could use it as additional pantry space, just really a lot of options. Now, what's something a lot of people fail to always mention is exactly where all your kind of convenience or like main control panels are at. So for this particular trailer, I love the fact that it's right here by the entrance door. So meaning you have all your ceiling light access, you can run your slide out in and out from here. You can also run the awning in and out as well. So that's nice that it's also tucked away behind a cabinet, because in a lot of lesser expensive models, traditionally that is just located on the outside of a cabinet somewhere, and it just doesn't really look very finished off. So I think they do a really nice job with that. So follow me up front here to the bedroom. We'll show you a couple quick things. So first thing I want to point out is the fact you got a 60 by 80 residential style queen bed. So you could easily swap out this mattress if it's not something that's comfortable to you. The other thing too that I want to point out are these 2 sideboards that are here. So if you have like a sleep mat machine, or maybe you want to charge your cell phones, it's just a really nice cutout space for you to be able to place those items if needed. They give you 2 reading lights overhead. These are kind of neat. You also got blue lights for like some mood or accent lighting, or alternatively you got the white. And then I think this thing has a ton of storage up front here, meaning like you got all these cabinet doors that sits all the way across. So like these are very, very deep for hanging closets, and then these are just drawers that pull out. That way you can use those. And then even underneath the bed, they also provide you a little bit of storage here too. So you notice the gas struts, and then there's you know, like a little sliding wood piece there that you could use as some storage as well. One last thing is the fact that you do have a vent that sits up overhead here. So if you wanted, you could maybe get like a max air fan or a fantastic fan to go up top. And then you've got 2 windows on both sides here. So if you wanted to get a really good kind of cross ventilation, you can open up both of those windows and be very comfortable in camping inside of this thing. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the inside. We're gonna go ahead and make our way to the exterior, show you all a couple cool things there. So now that we're on the exterior of the Imagine, first thing I want to point out is the fact that you got a 20-foot long awning on this thing. It's got the cool and fancy LED awning lights that's underneath of them. The other nice thing I love about this awning is the fact that it's got an adjustable pitch arm. So if it's pouring down rain and you still want to hang out underneath of your awning, all you got to do is just pull one side down, and that'll ensure all the rain doesn't collect up in the middle of the awning and it just dumps it off the one side. The other thing too is the fact that it's black in color. You won't run into any mold or mildew discoloration like what you would with a lot of the old style white you know, colored awnings. Next I want to point out is the fact that Grand Design offers a 3-year structural warranty. They're one of the first manufacturers in the industry to actually offer that 3-year structural warranty, and now a lot of manufacturers you'll see are starting to kind of bandwagon on top of that. The other neat thing that's on the outside of this 23BHE is the fact that underneath of that bunk bed that's inside, they provide you this, an outside kitchen. So the outside kitchen gives you a little like 1.9 or 1.6 cubic foot refrigerator. This is 110 volt only, so you do need to be plugged in order for that thing to work. Other than that, they provide you a 2-burner cooktop. This feeds to a quick connect that's down below here. And then that quick connect has a plumbing line that runs all the way up front to those 2 20-pound propane bottles that comes with your trailer. So as long as you got propane up front, you'll be able to plug this thing in and be able to cook outside underneath of your awning. Right over here to the right, they offer you a spray port. The idea for the spray port is like maybe you could spray off dishes, and or if you're coming back from a sandy day at the beach, you could use it really as like an outside shower. We'll show you in a little bit. It comes with like a little blue hose, and that'll just connect right into there, and that's what you can use. So the 23BHE is within Imagine's XLS lineup. What that means to you, it's their extra light series. So it is a little bit of a lighter weight trailer as mentioned earlier. But since we're up front, I want to point out the fact that you got a power tongue jack, so that'll make that a lot easier to connect and disconnect with this thing. You also too have 2 20-pound propane bottles. When you take delivery here at Beckley's, we'll ensure that those are all filled up for you. And then stowed directly back behind there will be 1 12-volt deep cycle style battery. To keep moving, show you right over here. They have an unobstructed pass-through storage, meaning there's nothing that goes down and inside and through the floor to obstruct all your storage area. They give you some motion sensor lighting that's in there too, and then also along this front wall, it's pre-wired for something that's called Tire Link. Basically what Tire Link means to you is it's a tire pressure monitoring system. So you can get a cell phone app and be able to put on some covers over top of your valve stems, and that'll let you know what your current tire pressure is with this. Otherwise, this is like your universal docking station. So this is where you're going to plug in your cable or satellite, plug in your water, and also they provide you an exterior shower that's out here too. So the Grand Design lineup in itself is way better insulated in comparison to most products that are out there in the industry. So you got like, I don't know, R30 or R40 up in the roof, probably like R30 insulation in the floor. So that benefit to you is the fact that you can use this in a lot more extended seasons, or late fall or maybe even winter time. But by them doing that and then putting everything inside here, you're gonna be able to feed your water up and through the bottom and then plug that water into here. And then what that gives you the ability to do is close this off. And then as long as you're running your furnace, this is all nicely insulated inside there. So it'll prevent a lot of that stuff from freezing. I know a lot of y'all are very interested in how many gray tanks and black tanks they have. So with this thing, it actually has 2 gray tanks, but it also has 2 discharges, meaning there's a discharge right up front here. And if you walk back here behind this slide out, here's an additional discharge as well. So you had a gray tank for up front, that's for your sink or like galley area in the kitchen. And this one in the back here is gonna be utilized for that bathroom. So for your shower and for the sink inside the bathroom. And then you got your black tank that'll also come out of this one location here. So what you could do is, like, for those two discharges, either you could take one sewage hose, connect it up front there, dump that tank out, and then move that hose back here and dump these tanks. Or alternatively, you could get two sewage hoses, connect them both, and then they make a Y fitting or a Y connector that'll attach right there at the septic at the campground if they provide that. Otherwise, something that's really neat is the fact that they have a black tank flush. So for those of you that have been camping for a while, you know how important that is. Unfortunately, if you're not cleaning or sanitizing the inside of the black tank, over time, there's sensors that are inside of there. And those sensors will tell you that they're 2/3 full or 3/3 full after you had dumped the tanks out. So what you can do is hook up a dedicated hose to this thing, and that'll actually begin spraying out the inside of the black tank and then prevent a lot of those issues from showing false readings on your monitor panel inside. One last thing before we finish up on the exterior, and that's just back here on this back wall. So you got a ladder. The ladder's rated for like 250 pounds. You can climb up on top. It's a fully walkable roof. Something that Grand Design does a little bit uniquely is the fact that they laminate their back walls, but then also their slide outs. So what that means is the fact that if you climb up on top of the roof, you could also stand on top of your slide outs, which if they don't laminate their slide boxes in their back wall, that does not give you the ability to be able to stand on top of that slide out and perform any maintenance. One last thing up here is you have a pre-wire for a backup camera. That would be manufactured by a company called Furrion. They come in a bunch of different sizes, but that'll definitely help out when you're backing into some really tight spaces. And then lastly, is this thing will come with about a 30-foot long power cord. So the power hookup is just located right here in the back. So that definitely gives you a little bit more flexibility for some campsites where that's all scattered throughout the way there. So everybody, thanks for watching. Once again, my first name is Justin. I represent Maryland's #1 RV dealership, Beckley's RVs. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. And otherwise, if you have more interest on a model like this, or maybe even this one in specific, please reach out to us. Be happy to contact you and be able to get you all the information that you need in order to be able to make an educated purchasing decision. Otherwise, take care and stay tuned for the next one.